Good morning to all of you. Today, the topic is neonatal septicemia. Neonatal sepsis is the single most important cause of the death in the community, accounting half of them. If it is diagnosed earlier and treated aggressively with the proper antibiotics and supportive cares, it is possible to save most of the cases of the neonatal septicemia. In other words, we can say we can make the survival rate of neonates by prompt diagnosis as well as treatment. Neonatal sepsis is a clinical syndrome of bacteremia with the systemic sign of infection in the first 4 weeks of life. Epidemiology of the neonatal sepsis. Incidence of early neonatal septicemia is 1 to 10 per 1000 live birth. Incidence is as high as 25 per 1000 among infants less than 1500 grams. Mortality rate is as high as 50% with the highest rate seen in the premature infant and gram-negative septicemia. Etiology of the neonatal sepsis. The most common organisms involved are Listeria coli or the E. coli, Staphylococcus aureus, Klebsiella pneumoniae. Less common are Group B Streptococci, Haemophilus influenza, Listeria monocytogenes, Enterobacter, Candida, etc. Early versus late onset of sepsis. For kind information, I will inform you that neonatal sepsis is of two types: early onset neonatal septicemia and late onset neonatal septicemia. Early onset neonatal septicemia starts within 72 hours of the birth. The risk factors are low birth weight baby, PROM, that is premature rupture of membrane, foul smelling liquor amni, multiple pervaginal examinations, maternal fever. Difficult or prolonged labor, aspiration of the meconium, birth asphyxia, and difficult resuscitations are the risk factors. Early onset septicemia caused by organism prevalent in the maternal genital tract or in the delivery area. Common organisms involved are Group B Streptococci and E. coli, and manifest majority of the cases as respiratory distress. Late onset septicemia started beyond 72 hours after the birth of child. Common symptoms appears within 1 to 2 weeks of the birth. The risk factors are low birth weight baby, lack of breastfeeding, superficial infections such as pyoderma, umbilical sepsis, etc., aspiration of the feet. About 2/3 cases are due to gram-negative bacteria due to Klebsiella pneumoniae, Enterobacter, and E. coli. Late onset septicemia is caused by the organism thriving in the external environment of the home or the hospital. In the other word, we can say the late onset septicemia is acquired. The infection transmitted through the hand of the care providers. Symptomatology of this septicemia. General symptoms are lethargy, refusal to suck, worse cry, poor weight gain or excessive weight loss. CNS symptoms: not arousal, comatose, seizures, high pitched cry, excessive crying, irritability, neck retraction, bulging fontanelle, poor neonatal reflexes, hypothermia or fever. In respiratory symptoms, cyanosis, tachypnea, chest retraction, grunt, apnea or gasping, hypotension characterized by poor perfusion and the shock. GIT symptoms are abdominal distension, loose motion, and vomiting. Other symptoms such as scleroma. Scleroma is defined as hardening of skin, jaundice, bleeding, renal failure. Clinical feature in early onset septicemia are perinatal hypoxia, resuscitation difficulties, evidence of congenital pneumonia in the form of the respiratory distress. In late onset septicemia, clinical representation may be silent in very small babies and suddenly die without exhibiting signs and symptoms. The main sign to be remembered: cold to touch, that is hypothermia, or acrocyanosis, or the peripheral cyanosis, poor perfusion, hypotension, renal failure, scleroma, and meningeal radiation sign such as neck rigidity, Cunning sign positive, and Brudzinski sign positive. Poor weight gain. In neonates, altered feeding behavior. Babies, those feeding normally, gradually or suddenly become lethargic, inactive, unresponsive, and refuse to suck. Hypothermia is a common manifestation in the preterm babies, while the fever is frequent in large babies, especially in gram-positive infections. Diarrhea, vomiting, and abdominal distension may occur. In meningitis, 10 to 15% of the sepsis, children suffering from meningitis. It can be often missed clinically as no classical symptoms is present in newborn. If possible, the lumbar puncture should be done in all cases of the late onset of acute sepsis. The implications of detecting meningitis in the setting of septicemia include the need of using antibiotics with a high CSF penetration and provision of antibiotic treatment for at least 3 weeks. In case of pneumonia, baby may die of fulminant hemorrhagic pneumonia without producing any localizing signs and symptoms. Apneic spells with cyanosis, tachypnea, rales. Pyelonephritis incidences are 0.1 to 1%, more common in preterm babies. All neonates with a poor weight gain in spite of adequate dietary intake are in subject. Kidney may be enlarged and palpable. Osteomyelitis and septic arthritis are not common, may occur through hematogenous spread or the direct extension from the skin, like venipuncture or the skin abscess. Common causes: Staphylococcus aureus and Neisseria gonorrhoeae. Knee and wrist are commonly involved. In septic type, osteomyelitis may involve any bone. Necrotizing enterocolitis. In this disease, marked abdominal distension, bilious vomiting, passage of blood and mucus per rectum, bowel sound undiminished or the absent, free air in diaphragm with the obliteration of the hepatic dullness in the terminal stage. Vague defined inflammatory mass may be palpable in the right leg fossa. In the chest X-ray, we find multiple fluid levels as well as free air in diaphragm. In shock, baby would appear markedly pale, in absence bleeding, ashen grey with the cold extremities and absent peripheral pulsation and fall in blood pressure, may be due to adrenal insufficiency. Scleroma is the hardening of skin or the thick patches usually occur in the dorsum side of arm, upper part of the thigh. It is usually present in advanced stage of the disease. Survival chances are decreased with the evidence of scleroma. Disseminated intravascular coagulations, prolonged hypothermia and acidosis, bleeding manifestation may appear due to conjunctive coagulopathy, excessive bleeding from venipuncture sites, spontaneous ecchymosis, massive pulmonary hemorrhage, and hemorrhagic cerebral infarct. Clinical points for etiological diagnosis. If staphylococcus infections, then superficial infections such as pyoderma, abscess, conjunctivitis, umbilical sepsis, osteomyelitis, and late onset septicemia. Pseudomonas infections, grayish black gangrenous region over the skin. Listeria infections, flu-like maternal illness, and gastroenteritis. Meconium stent liquoremni, baby is unwell right at birth with the limpness and develops respiratory difficulties, apneic spells, rashes, and hepatosplenomegaly on the first day. Streptococcus group B infections हम सस्पेक्ट कर सकते हैं maternal fever during labor, PRM, respiratory distress within the 3 hours, apneic spells, and shock. Investigations. No investigation is required as a prerequisite to start treatment in a clinically obvious case. Early treatment is of critical importance. Practical sepsis screen. Leukopenia TLC is less than 5000 per cubic mm. Neutropenia is seen less than 1800 mm per cubic mm. Immature neutrophil to total neutrophil ratio is more than 0.2. Micro ESR is more than 15 mm in first hour. CRP is positive. In peripheral blood smear, band cells and Doyle bodies is seen. Normal CSF of neonate, term and preterm इस पिक्चर में दिखाई गई है. जहां हम देखें नंबर ऑफ सेल्स पॉलीमॉर्फ्स होंगी 30 to 60% in term, while the preterm 60 to 90%. Protein content is same. Glucose content is slightly higher in term 35 to 120 mg per deciliter, while in the preterm 25 to 65 mg per deciliter. In case of meningitis, this is the hallmark, and to make a diagnosis very sharply. If we cannot assess CSF properly, then we can make a diagnosis of meningitis through MRI also. Other investigations. For respiratory distress and apnea conditions, chest X-ray are required. For abdominal sign and suspicion of necrotizing enterocolitis, go for a plain X-ray abdomen erect posture. Ultrasound of head, CT scan or MRI if meningitis are suspected. Indication for urine culture necessity. In case of the late onset septicemia, unexplained fever, patient at risk for fungal sepsis and poor weight gain. What we will find in case of UTI in urine, that is 5 WBC per high power field, 10 to 4 organism per ml in the urine obtained by the catheterization, any organism found in the urine obtained by the suprapubic aspirations. Presumed early sepsis, if any 3 of the following factors are present, start treatment immediately. Number 1, preterm child or the birth weight is less than 2000 gram, maternal fever in the preceding 2 weeks, always smelling liquor amni, more than 3 vaginal examination in the labor, birth asphyxia, or APGAR score less than 4 at the 5 minute, prolonged or difficult delivery with the instrumentation. Treatment. Institution of the prompt treatment is essential for ensuring optimal care and optimum outcome. 2 components of treatment are antibiotic therapy, and supportive care. In antibiotic therapy, if pneumonia or the sepsis are present, then the selection of antimicrobials are ampicillin or cloxacillin from penicillin group and gentamicin or amikacin from aminoglycoside. Injection ampicillin 50 mg per kg per dose, IV or intramuscular, plus injection gentamicin 2.5 mg per kg per dose 12 hourly for first 7 days or 8 hourly for more than 7 to 10 days. In case of meningitis, injection ampicillin 100 mg per kg per dose plus injection cefotaxime 50 mg per kg per dose 12 hourly for 7 days, 8 hourly for more than 7 days, IV for 3 weeks. Injection ampicillin plus injection gentamicin or injection chloramfenicol can be used as an alternative therapy. For superficial infections, if umbilical sepsis and pyoderma are present, then the patient treated with Gentin Violet 1% local application after the cleaning. For pulmonary conjunctivitis, sulfacetamide 10% or the chloramfenicol or the sofromycin eye drops are advised. For oral thrush, Gentin Violet 1% for local application. Here, to check the previous superficial infection, Ayurveda can play an important role. All the drugs which are indicated in the Nabi Bhag are used to prevent the umbilical sepsis. Lothra, Madhuk, Priyangu, Surdaru, Haridra, etc. Anjanvarti used to prevent the conjunctivitis, and gargle or the local application of the Jati Patrasuerus for oral thrush. Supportive care of the sick septic neonate. Keep neonate warm. Start IV infusion. 10% of dextrose at a rate of 2 ml per body weight. Start to maintain the normal glycemia. Maintain fluid and electrolyte balance. Maintain tissue perfusion if CRT is more than 3 seconds. Infuse at a rate of 10 ml per body weight. Normal saline. Avoid enteral feed if sick. Start oxygen if cyanosed and the support breathing. Consider exchangeable transfusion if there is scleroderma. Prognosis. Despite the ability of the newer, broader spectrum chemotherapy, almost 25 to 50% of the neonate dies. Mortality rate is higher in case of the early onset septicemia. The presence of serious congenital anomalies, meningeal involvement, gram-negative septicemia, low birth weight, or premature babies. Prevention of infections through exclusive breastfeeding. No parenteral feeds are allowed. Keeping the cord dry. Hand washing by the caregivers before and after the handling the baby. Hygiene of the baby, such as sponging, clean clothing, etc. Non-necessary interventions. Control of hospital-acquired infections by hand washing of all the staff, isolation of the infectious patient, use plenty of the disposable items, avoid overcrowding, aseptic work culture, infection surveillance, etc. Work culture, sterile gown and linen for the babies, regular cleaning of the unit, disposal of the waste product in the separate bins, and hand washing. Control of outbreak by epidemiological investigations, increased emphasis on hand washing, reinforce all preventive measures, review of the protocol of nursery, screen all personals, review antibiotic policies, quality of the infants. Home message: Early diagnosis and prompt therapy reduce the mortality. Antibiotic policies to minimize bacterial resistance, stance on preventive measures. Fungal sepsis, generally seen in very low birth weight baby infant with prolonged NICU stay. Risk factors include prolonged ventilation and multiple courses of the IV antibiotics. The causative fungus is Candida albicans is the most commonest, and Candida parapicillosis and Candida glabrate are other one. Fungal sepsis when to suspect. Sick preterm with a prolonged stay. Bacterial pathogens are not identified. Deteriorate while receiving antibiotics, such as respiratory deterioration, enteral feed intolerance, ashen, unhealthy color and lethargy, hyperglycemia in the babies previously tolerating the same parenteral fluid, thrombocytopenia, renal involvement with the candiduria or abscess. Investigation: blood fungal culture. Candida grows robustly in the routine blood culture media within 48 to 72 hours of the incubation. Urine culture for budding yeast and hyphae. Abdominal sonography for renal masses or the renal abscess or the fungal balls. Ophthalmic assessment for the endophthalmitis. Treatment: IV amphotericin, dose 0.25 mg per body weight per day. Increment advances to 1 mg per kg per day, dissolved in 5% dextrose. Give a single infusion over 4 to 6 hours. Totally 20 to 30 mg per body weight cumulative dose. Monitor for hypokalemia, nephrotoxicity and arrhythmias. The second alternative is IV fluconazole. It is safe and effective and may be started in suspected cases after culture sent. The dose of IV fluconazole is 3 to 6 mg per body weight per day. Another one, flucytosine 50 to 150 mg per kg per day. Oral, divided 6 hourly. Synergistic with the amphotericin B, especially in case of meningitis. Duration of the antifungal treatment for 3 to 6 weeks. Therapy is continued till sterility is obtained on the culture. Thank you.